All right, JB bringing it as always. 27 away from 8 here.
And it's a good time. We're going to do it a little bit early this morning. The Way We Were, brought to you by Sleep Med of South Carolina. They remain the only practice devoted entirely to the diagnosis and treatment of sleep disorders. This is a special, The Way We Were, if you will. I want to take just a few minutes here to honor someone, a former Gamecock head football coach, and not just because he was a very fine coach, but a leader of men and a great person. Marvin Bass coached the Gamecocks as head coach from 1961 to 65. In those Carolina-Clemson games, those 5, talk about a thrill a minute. Coach Bass went 3-2. In the 1961 game in Columbia, the Sigma Nu prank game, Jim Costin of Carolina scooped up a teammate's fumble and ran in for the go-ahead score late in the fourth quarter, only to see the Tigers roar down to the Carolina 1-yard line. But the clock ticked 0. Gamecocks 21, Tigers 14. In 62 at Clemson, the Tigers' Rodney Rogers kicked a field goal in the fourth quarter to give Coach Howard a 20-17 win. In 1963 in Columbia, with heavy hearts, 6 days after our president's assassination, it was Thanksgiving Day. Clemson beat Dan Reeves and the Gamecocks 24-20. Coach Howard's son, Jimmy, scored the first touchdown of that game, and the Gamecocks' Marty Rosen scored the final Thursday touchdown in the Carolina-Clemson series. Back in Death Valley for 64, Charlotte's Jim Rogers, subbing for the injured Dan Reeves, scrambled on a busted play late in the final period to win it 7-3 for Coach Bass's Gamecocks. A goal line stand just minutes earlier had stopped the Tigers inches away from a 10-0 lead and putting that game away. Then in 1965, in Columbia, perhaps the most thrilling finish in the history of this rivalry. Clemson scored with 40 seconds to play to make the score Gamecocks 17, Tigers 16. Clemson lined up as if to kick for the tie, but holder/quarterback Jimmy Addison, the Needle from Fairfax, Alabama, took the snap, rolled to his left, fired a pass to the end zone. Carolina linebacker Bob Gunnels, whose brother Dan played for the Tigers, Bob Gunnels knocked down that pass and saved a 1-point win for Coach Bass's Gamecocks. It was his last game as head coach of the University of South Carolina. And to this day, I have never known of a football coach whose former players loved so dearly. Tomorrow, Marvin Bass turns 91 years young. Happy birthday, Coach. These memories will be here forever. And that's the way we were on the last Friday before the 2010 college football season, brought to you by Sleep Med of South Carolina.
Well done, my friend. Very well done. It is 7:36. Anybody seen Neil White yet?